There's a lot of familiar faces out there. And I want to tell you kind of what we do. We're an organization that... It worked. We're an organization that recruits ideas from citizens all year long. This is an event that is designed for citizens, for ordinary people in the community that have great ideas, but they don't have a platform or an avenue to pursue an idea. So there's 4 critical components to the 24-Hour Citizen Project, and they're all in this room right now. The first are the citizen teams, who were in the back sharing their ideas with all of you. Let's give them a round of applause. So these teams have been working on their idea for the last 6 weeks now. And they're here tonight to share their idea with you. They've been working really hard over the last 24 hours. So there's 4 groups of people. The first is citizen teams. The second is experts. So every project needs subject matter expertise. And so we've paired the teams with subject matter experts to pursue their projects. The third group is backers. So every project needs money. I tell you what, round of applause for the backers over here. Thank you guys. The backers are critical because they fund the projects. And the last piece is critical as well. That's the audience, because there's a layer of accountability for a team to stand up and say, this is my idea, and this is my plan to implement it. And you stand up and you say that in front of 100+ people. And so that is a powerful thing. You're also going to be the piece of encouragement for the teams in just a little bit down this tunnel in just a little while, so get ready. How about we give the audience a round of applause? Why not, right? So this is our 4th year doing the 24-Hour Citizen Project. This is what we've been up to. We've been able to fund 14 projects. We're working on recruiting a database full of expertise in the community, people willing to help. And we've raised $94,000 converting private funds to public projects, all to thanks to backers. The other highlight of this year is this, assuming the backers just don't run out of here. Tonight, we reach a milestone of a goal that we committed years ago to reach $100,000 for community projects from the backers. So let's give them one more round of applause. All right, so there's a lot that happens in a given year, so I just wanted to kind of show you the highlights. Everything we do is about transparency. So we learned early on that if we had projects that were funded, were pursued, implemented, and completed, and we didn't document it, then what good is that impact? So communities can learn from other communities, and so that's one thing that we really focused on. So we do this thing called a Dear Community Live series. And it's a way to document how a project got done, the barriers, the excitement along the way. So that was launched earlier this year, and we're happy to share it with the 24-Hour Citizen Project audience. This is a project that was funded in 2018 called Longest Table. Where's Ashley Muggs? So Ashley Muggs, Scott Arito, and Elsa Demetriadis with Conversation Starters, who's actually a backer this year, wants to give back to the project. Let's give her a round of applause. So their idea was all about dialogue, having cross-racial conversations, and they started out with having 30 Catalyst dinners across the community. They ended those dinners with a block party right here on Jefferson Street where 300 people showed up to talk about race and have difficult conversations. They did pre and post surveys, and they compiled a report with a partnership with a statistician that detailed all of the components of their project. It's titled Perspective on Race in Lafayette and Moving a Community from Concerned to Active. So we're super pumped for the Longest Table project, and there's a lot of things that's to come from the Conversation Starters project that spawned from it. So give them a round of applause, guys. This next project is with Dirk Guidry. He's an artist in town. He had this idea called Bare Walls, and it was basically an outlet for artists to go into businesses that have bare walls, have a partnership program, link artists to businesses to put art on bare walls, right? So a couple of things that they've accomplished in the last year. They have art in 10 businesses. They've recruited 38 local artists to participate in the program. There's over 400 pieces of art available for the businesses to adopt. And we've got 70 walls in Lafayette that have been covered with art by local artists. So growth is the mantra for this project. They've had like over $5,000 that have gone to local artists as a result of the Bare Walls project. One other component to this, we walked into this building the other night and we noticed that there was a wall in the back that was bare. We called Bare Walls. They came and they hung that painting for us. Dirk Guidry did it. So if you love the painting, if you want any more information about it, we've got a QR code next to it. You can check it out. So Dirk isn't here, but let's give him a round of applause. He deserves it. This next project, where's Alex Johnson? You here? Let's give Alex a round of applause. Alex actually had an idea to do a mural that included a poem that she wrote called Eyes of the Sun. Excuse me. The incarcerated youth wrote the poem. And so what she wanted to do was do a mural at both the MLK Center and Meshes, and she partnered with Justin Robinson to do that. They've completed the Meshes mural, and they're working on the one at the MLK Center. So let's give Alex a round of applause. And here's Ryan Calderaz. Where are you, Ryan? You get back here. Ryan is no stranger to the 24-Hour Citizen Project. He's been a backer for 2 years, and he also was funded in 2017. He had the idea to install a musical instrument library into our library system here. And it's basically an opportunity for people to come check out instruments if they wanted to play before they bought them. So this is their year one fast, but this is their second year. Keep that in mind. So this is a project that has continued to grow and impact the community. They've had 165 instruments that have been checked out. There's a part-time job that was created. We've got documentation that patrons are buying instruments from local stores. There's been a number of interests from other cities that have contacted Ryan. I think he's actually flown to a couple of cities to talk about the musical instrument library and the impact that it's had on Lafayette. And then they partnered with the Acadiana Symphony Orchestra to actually implement a lesson program for all of the kids that check out instruments. So let's give Ryan a big round of applause. So we've been talking about the bus stop project for a while. So last year I showed you this slide, and so we had mentioned that the Umbrella Project partnered with the Adopt a Stop program, and they identified 60 bus stop shelter-ready areas. So since that time, that partnership has grown, and that project has been working with the Adopt a Stop program that is led by Councilwoman Liz Webb-Hebert. And Liz just texted me a little while ago, and she told me that they've installed 30 bus stop shelters around the community as a result of the Adopt a Bus Stop program. Let's give that project a round of applause. Crew the Kenai. Guys, I swear this is ending soon, but there's so many great projects out there, and this is my only opportunity to tell you about them. Crew to Kenai is the walking parade. I'm pretty sure everyone here knows about it. So they launched their second year in 2019. The theme was Louisiana folklore. If you don't know about Crew to Kenai, you need to, because they're doing it again in February 2020, and they have a theme called Louisiana Festival. So I don't know if anybody from Crew to Kenai is here. If not, doesn't matter. Let's give them a round of applause. And this is the last project. It's called Kids Pop-Up Theater. This is another one that was funded 2 years ago in 2017. The funding was only to do the program for 1 year. Danielle Morrow has since done the program several times. In 2019, she's partnered with New Hope Community Development and has no plans of stopping. So this is a program that, or a project that continues to make waves in the community. Danielle couldn't be here tonight, but she's one of the biggest fans of the 24-Hour Citizen Project, so she deserves a round of applause. Let's give her that. Okay. There's a big part of the 24-Hour Citizen Project that any first-timers out there really need to know about. These teams have been working their tails off for the last 24 hours. The most we could do, or the least we could do, is actually show them some love whenever they come up to pitch. So we're going to do this thing called the tunnel. Every team is going to have a walkout song. Every team is going to run down this tunnel, and you, the crowd, are going to create the tunnel for them. So hold on, before we make the tunnel, let's go through what good tunnel form is. So this is Steven Verrett, okay? This is perfect tunnel form right here. Make sure you've got great coverage. This is bad tunnel form because it's just not sustainable. He's going to hurt his back if he stays in that position for a long time. By the 7th project and the 10th beer, you might look like this at the tunnel. Don't stand in the tunnel. So this is tunnel etiquette. Always give teams, an opportunity to come by. Don't put your foot in the tunnel. The teams might trip. Don't run in the tunnel. Although you're going to be really excited, you might not be able to help it. There's no laying down in the tunnel. There's no modeling in the tunnel. Don't turn your back to the teams, right? Don't turn your back to the teams when they come down the tunnel. Good tunnel proper form. Please no buying drinks when teams are coming down the tunnel, right? No eating when teams are coming down the tunnels. High fives are totally permitted. You can run with the teams as long as there's room. You run against the teams if that seems necessary. And the tunnel is so important. Go ahead. We cue the music. Okay. All right. I'm going to introduce somebody. The tunnel is so important. Hold on, Tony. Calm down. Get back. Get back. Get back. Hold on. The tunnel is so important that we have to designate a tunnel wrangler. We need someone to manage the tunnel, and we've chosen Tony, the tunnel wrangler. So let's go ahead and stand up, make the tunnel, and pick up the music. Go ahead, Ryan. Hold on, back up, Tony, one more time. Hold on, back up. Oh my goodness. Go all the way back. Guys, let's stand up. Let's stand up and make a tunnel here for Tony. Let's stand up. Good tunnel form. I need the music to be louder. Hold on, Tony. Tony, stay there. I need the music to be louder. A little bit louder. Perfect. All right, Tony. Let's show these people what a tunnel looks like. But that's what we want to do. Every time a team runs up, treat the teams like you treat Tony, unless he puts his butt against you. All right, look, a couple more slides and we're going to get to the main event, okay? So we can't do these things without thanking our sponsors. The Opportunity Machine has been a wonderful partner of ours. Innovate South has been a wonderful partner. Lake Wellness Center, Aileen Bennett, and Recover Acadiana has actually partnered with us to be our fiscal sponsor. I want to give them a round of applause, please. And really quickly, I'd like to invite Destin Orr to go on the stage and talk a little bit about an awesome event that's happening next weekend called Innovate South. Let's give Destin a round of applause.
Thank you, Butch. Butch stands up here a lot, telling you to give a round of applause for other people, but I really feel it's necessary to say, give a round of applause for Butch. Butch tried to get away with not doing this event this year. Can you believe that? I think the only person who's probably for that is his wife, Erin, and I'm really sorry, Erin, that we convinced him to do it again. And I promise if he does do it, continue to do it, that we will continuously provide more and more help from the community to make sure that his time spent away from you and that lovely little cute little baby you got is minimal, okay? But this is an extremely important event to our community, and make sure that these community projects, the ideas that everyone have, are implemented, okay? And we have the backers to support it, which is extremely, extremely important. And it ties in very well to what Innovate South is all about, because technically, this event was supposed to be part of Innovate South. Now, unfortunately, due to some timing and things like that, we had to push it back a week. And you know, there's something going on next Saturday. Can't remember what it is, but something going on next Saturday that, you know, prevents this from being a part of next Saturday. No, I'm just kidding. Go out and vote, okay? Go vote. Go vote. Yeah, and there's a party too, apparently. That's what I... Where's that? 20 under 40. Oh, yeah. 20 under 40. Fantastic party, by the way. And, but Innovate South, I like to talk about that real quick, because that's what I'm supposed to be doing right now, sorry. Go to innovatesouth.org. You can see everything there is about the conference. It's coming up. It starts next Wednesday. The majority of the conference, Thursday and Friday, will be at the ACA, Canadian Center for the Arts. And I see a lot of the people here, this event is for you, okay? Whether you're creative, you're an innovator, you own your own business, or you work for somebody, you're trying to do community projects, everything about this conference is going to appeal to you. And your support for this event here is extremely needed, but your support at this conference is extremely needed as well, because we have people who are coming in from out of town who want to see what Lafayette has to offer, because they're very interested in Lafayette. And if we have all of your support there at the conference as well, then they might call Lafayette their home. And don't you want more people coming to Lafayette and with great ideas and diversifying our community and improving upon the community, along with everything that y'all are doing right now? Great. So when you have a second, not while everyone's pitching, when you have a second, please check out innovatesouth.org. You can register on there. And we still have passes available. All VIP passes are sold out, sorry, if you wanted to come to the party. But we do have passes available. We have a lot of great speakers locally and from out of town that are coming in to share new ideas. And once again, thank you so much. Thank you, Butch, for giving me the time to talk about it real quick. And let's give a round of applause for the teams real quick. One more time. It takes a lot of guts to come up here and share an idea that you created yourself with everyone and hope that it gets funded. And y'all have a hard job tonight, okay? Really hard job, so I commend all of you as well. All right, thank you so much, appreciate it.
Thank you, Justin. And we haven't forgotten our backers. They've been critical to our program. So let's go ahead and introduce our backers. And let's start with Melissa Llewellyn, who is representing the 705 tonight. Go ahead, stand up, and we're going to give you a round of applause. And look, stay standing, please. Stay standing. Kate Evans, go ahead, stand up. Kate's with Alan and Gooch. He was the first backer to ever commit to the 24-Hour Citizen Project in 2016. Then you have Gus Mazende with Social Entertainment. Gus actually participated, give him a round of applause, guys. He participated as a team 3 years ago. Then you got Cian Robinson and his wife, Natalie Harder, who was not here. This is Cian's second year. Give him a round of applause. Elsa, go ahead, stand up. Everyone knows you anyway. Elsa Dimitriadis with Conversation Starters, participated as a team last year. Mark McClewin with Access Behavioral Health. Ryan Cazares, excuse me, second-time backer and a team. And then we've got Lacey Maynard with Advantia. Advantia was highly involved with the community, and we thank her for being here. We thank you guys so, so much. All right. This is where I need to be. Okay, it's time. We're done with all the thank yous for now. It's time. So let's go ahead and cue the music. And guys, look, if the tunnel is subpar, I'm going to stop the music and we're going to try it all over again. So let's go ahead and stand up. Let's stand up, cue the music. I'd like to introduce the Adopt the Storm Drain Project. Come on in.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Katie Dupre, and I'm here tonight to tell you why you, your neighbors, and all of your organizations want to adopt a storm drain. South Louisianians know water. It's part of who we are. It's part of our identity. But we also know how difficult it can be to manage and control it. And it impacts each and every one of us in big and small ways on a regular basis. Our community is also known for coming together. Because with one person with a boat is just one person with a boat. But together, it's collective impact. And we can really make a difference when we work as a unit. That's what our pitch is all about today, collective impact. This is a map of Lafayette storm drains. Imagine that the blue storm drains are free of debris and litter, and they work as they should, water flowing in as they should. Now imagine that the red dots are clogged storm drains, where there's litter and debris preventing water from flowing as they should. What happens then when the water can't drain when it's supposed to? It rises up. That's a real risk to neighborhoods across the city. When you look at this challenge as a whole, it's daunting. So you might be asking yourself, what can I do as an individual to help? You can take individual responsibility for one storm drain. You monitor it, you clean it out, and you make sure that it's free of debris. Yesterday, in fact, I cleaned a storm drain. One storm drain. And it only took me 3 minutes to do so. So we wanted to make this easy, free, and simple thing that each and every one of us can do even easier. Our project is a mapping platform that allows individuals to log in, adopt a storm drain, name it, monitor it. We'll even send you notifications before rainstorms to remind you to clean it. In order to get this implemented, this is a conservative estimate for a full development team and marketing plan for this kind of project. We're not asking for that. If this tool didn't exist, one single employee from the Department of Public Works for 1 year to clean 1,500 storm drains, $35,000. We're not looking for that. We're looking for $3,000 for marketing and educational materials to make people aware that this tool exists, know how to use it, and know the value of it. Thank you.
Now we're going to take any questions from the backers. If the team wants to come on the stage, you're welcome to.
Hey y'all, great job. So the $57,000 number, right? We were just having this conversation. Where did you get that from? How did you get that calculus? And how did you get from 57 grand to 3 grand?
So we actually have a team of developers and project managers that are a part of our team. I use their approximate hourly rate for about how much time we believe and multiply that out, plus adding in a professional conservative estimate for our marketing consultation fee, because we are not marketers, and that is where that number came from. We were able to get it down to $3,000 because our developers are volunteering their time. We are giving you $54,000 worth of work.
Can you further explain the process? If I want to adopt a storm drain, what do I need to do? And yeah, what's required of me besides cleaning it? What's the process?
Sure. So you would input your email, and that's how you would receive the notifications. That is connected to a weather API, and so you receive email notifications from that. And that's really all you have to do. You log into the platform with your email. You click on an already mapped storm drain with the data that we already have, if it has not yet been adopted. You name it, and then it's yours.
Can you help me understand how you're coordinating with LCG and making this happen?
Sure, so we've definitely been in conversation with the Public Works Department and all the folks there. They're interested in what we're doing. They're interested in how we can help them better serve the public with what they do. They currently host and maintain what's called the Paddle Trail Map, which is a very similar product to this. And so we think that because they've been so open to do those kind of ideas, they're also going to be open to these.
Has there been discussion or concern with LCG that this map you're talking about, the Paddle Trail map, is not the standard, that needs something that's better?
Can you define better?
Can you define it?
So the map that we're looking at is a map that we are using that is ArcGIS compliant. So it comes from a very reputable source. And then on top of that, we are using coordinates to plant things where they are. So are you asking if the storm drains are not mapped correctly, or?
It sounded as though LCG has a plan in place, or Public Works has a plan in place already, and you're looking to replace what they already have there with a superior product.
Absolutely not. Actually, we're looking to work together with them. So Lafayette just rolled out their 311 ticketing software. And so that's a way that you would report any like non-criminal, non-emergency noise complaints. And in January, they'll be rolling out the Public Works Department. And so we've actually talked with the developers in New Orleans for this project, and they actually integrated theirs with 311. And so this will allow you to flag a storm drain as needs to be cleaned and you'll get that ticket through the software that already exists. Does that answer it?
Okay, I have a quick question, which is, can you speak a little bit to the adoption? How will people see that someone has named the storm drain and has adopted that? What will that mechanism look like?
So we're going to flip back to the New Orleans map. This is actually a screenshot of the New Orleans application that is already in place. This is an open source platform, so we are just basically going to transplant it onto Lafayette. As you can see, there's a legend in the bottom corner here, which tells you whether a drain has been adopted, it's available, or if it's added by you, if it's currently not working. So they will be able to see all of that on the platform.
Individual or corporation, or both? And then are you geo-fenced specific to your location, or can you adopt whatever you want?
We are hoping to partner with both with individuals and with organizations. If you walk around your area, you'll probably notice that most of you already know that cleaning your storm drain is important. And you take ownership of the storm drain in front of your house because you don't want your house to flood. The organizations around Lafayette, if you drive down Johnson Street or something like that, you'll see that the drains are more likely to have debris on them. So we're definitely looking to partner with organizations as a way to get this implemented across the city. And then I'm sorry, what was the second?
Geofencing.
No, you will be able to adopt any storm drain that is mapped and is available.
Thank you. That's all the time we have for questions. And let's give it up for Dr. Silver. Good job. Good job. All right. Real quick, We've got 8 chairs in the front. I see a lot of people that are standing back there. If you want to come, get a comfortable seat, come on. All right, go ahead. Next project is in the works, and I don't see anybody standing to form a tunnel. Come on, Tony! Come on, Tony, give them up! Give them up! All right, give it up for Brandy Clay. And we're going to do a little something before you get started. Guys, sit down, Brandy. I want y'all to know that today is Brandy's birthday. So what we're going to do is sing her happy birthday. So let's go ahead and stand up and do that. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brandy. Happy birthday to you. All right, you can have it if you want it. Totally unplanned. I hope they didn't mess up your page.
So obviously my wish is that my project is going to be funded, right? Can I have the push?
Come on, bud.
Hello everyone, my name is Brandy Clay and I'm with the ED series, and the program that we are trying to pilot is called Guided. Guided stands for Graduate on Time with Individualized Teaching. So before we get started, I want to tell you a story about one of my students. Adrian is a student at Northside High School. Adrian should have graduated in May of 2019, but currently, Adrian is still enrolled at Northside High School. Why? Because he has yet to pass the 3 out of 6 end-of-course assessments that are necessary in order for him to obtain his high school diploma. Sadly, there are a number of students like Adrian at Northside High School and Karen Crowe High School. This program is going to target juniors and seniors at Northside High School and Karen Crowe High School to help them obtain the 3 out of 6 end-of-course assessments that they need in order to graduate. So why Karen Crowe High School and Northside High School? Currently, Karen Crowe and Northside have the lowest graduation rate in Lafayette Parish. So we want to ensure that we're focusing on these students and giving them the knowledge as well as the confidence that they need in order to be successful. So what is our solution? Our solution is the Guided program. The Guided program is going to be a blitz program that is going to be 4 Saturdays before the testing window actually opens. So we would like to actually have this twice a year since the testing window is open in December and in April. It's going to be from 8 to 12 and it's going to be hosted at Northside High School. The way our schedule is set up, it gives students academic time in which to focus on the skills that they need in order to be successful on the exams, as well as focusing on social and emotional learning as we build their confidence so that they can be successful. We're going to have 2 academic sessions, followed by a session that is also going to focus on testing strategies as well as how to cope with anxiety. So we're talking about yoga. We're talking about speaking with a social worker or a counselor. So we can remove as many barriers as possible so these students can be successful academic-wise. So what are we asking? Northside High School is generous enough that they are going to pay for all of the teachers that are going to work at Saturday school. We're looking at putting 10 students in a classroom with 1 to 2 teachers to ensure that this is an engaging and hands-on experience and they have the help from teachers. We're also looking at transportation, food, and educational materials to ensure that this is going to be engaging and hands-on and have students excited about learning and hopefully push them over to ensure that they graduate on time.
the Q&A.
So talk to me about,
Closer.
right, got it. Talk to me about two things. First, all right, talk to me about sustainability. So after you get the money, how are you gonna make sure this program is forward? And second, talk to me about once these kids, these students, get their EOCs passed, they're squared away, they graduate, what you're gonna do for them to move them to the next level.
So as far as the first question is concerned, we've already spoke with Gear Up, and Gear Up is going to match any money that we're going to be awarded tonight. So that gives us the opportunity to actually extend the program. And as I said before, both principals are willing to pay for the teacher so that it actually doesn't cut into the funds that we would be awarded or that Gear Up would be matching. So we have more money to actually spend and invest on our students. As far as the second question is concerned, we also have relationships with SLCC, with Center for the Center for Minority Students, as well as workforce. So our overall goal is to not only give them the academic skills so they're able to graduate high school, but to also build their employability skills so that they can be citizens that are productive and can add into our
Can you talk a little bit about the identification of students and how you'll recruit those students?
So currently we've already identified the students. The numbers that are here represents, this is only seniors. So our program wants to target juniors and seniors because at this time we do not feel that students should be waiting until their senior year to try and pass these EOCs. Once they get into their senior years, they should be coasting into graduation once they've earned the credits in each of the classes that they're taking. So our overall idea is focusing, these numbers, 26 out of 104 is at Northside High School. So that's 25% of your graduating class that possibly may not be graduating. To me, that's a problem that needs to be addressed. And this is our solution to ensure that we are not only changing the culture at Northside and Carencro, but we're overall changing the culture as Lafayette as a whole. Because helping children to graduate from high school is going to change our economy as well. That's going to help to decrease crime. All of this is connected to education. So what we pour into these kids is what's going to help Lafayette to truly be a better place.
Is there anything you're modeling this program after in other cities, or is this something you kind of come up with on your own?
We do not have a model, but we do know the needs of our children. We all work in the educational system. We've worked in the educational system for many, many years. And we just want to make sure that we're doing something. There is nothing like this in Lafayette Parish right now. Children are literally done with coursework, have all of their credits, but they do not have these tests passed, and we can't get past the Louisiana Department of Education. So we are trying to fill a gap. And we know that our children, they're trying. We have one child, Adrian. He has taken biology 6 times, but he's still here. And we are here to support him, and we're not going to let him just fall by the wayside.
Tell me more about transportation and food. So as far as transportation and food is concerned, I know that is 2 big barriers for our students. How they're going to get there, and every day when they come to school, what we eating today, Ms. Clay. So we want to make sure that those 2 barriers that they face, even beyond school, that maybe I'm not knowing where I'm getting that next meal from, or I don't know how I'm going to be able to fulfill this dream and to receive this help. By providing transportation and food, we're removing 2 of the barriers or obstacles that they face. So again, giving them the help that they need in which to reach their goal, which is graduation.
Let's give it up for Brandon Clay, guys. Good job. Good job.
is Rochelle Nelson. And as a child growing up in the Macomb neighborhood, I didn't realize or understand what an impact the men sitting on our porch will make in this world. One of the men had a smile on his face, spoke kind of Frenchy, and had a mouth full of gold. Another gentleman, he had sunglasses at night. And the other gentleman, he always said, "Come on to the house, old St. Charles. We're gonna jam a little bit." These three gentlemen, excuse me, these three gentlemen made an impact on our community. Their impact is the reason why I'm making this pitch for a heritage mural. The McCovies and neighborhoods are considered at risk at this time. But both neighborhoods are in the process of revitalization. The mural will be centrally located in Macomb. We chose a blank canvas on the Masonic Hall building. The mural will present Clinton Chenier, Stanley Buckwheat Durrell, and Paul Littlebuck Senegal. Three dynamic musicians winning several awards and Grammys for their talents. The background will be a porch. Why a porch? Because all the musicians would gather on a porch to jam. Our hope for this idea is to educate and inspire the future generations to achieve greatness. This project will also be a community-focused project where we could come together and work. The mural will not only preserve a portion of our history that's not in the history books, but also give an idea, will be in addition in the renaming of St. Charles Street to the Little Buck Avenue. Our plans are to reveal the completed project November 14th in commemoration of Buckwheat's birthday.
Keith, go ahead up on stage. Were we finished, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. I tell you what, maybe the question will come up. We got 4 minutes for Q&A.
They're right. They're right.
All right,
I wasn't
we got 10 seconds.
My 10 seconds is, I am proud to say I am homegrown from Macomb. Yes, indeed.
Any questions from the back? Any questions from the back? If not, we can go to our audience. Okay.
Regarding the completion of the project, I was talking to you earlier, and you had talked about the concept of bringing community together, right, and having maybe a reflection of what these musicians did in terms of playing on the porch. Do you plan on having community engagements around this area, and have there been discussions? Can you talk about community engagement?
Yes, in fact, 10% of our budget is specifically for community outreach.
One more time?
10% of our budget is specifically for community outreach. There's 2 of the wives that still live in the area, and we definitely want everything to be approved by them and the community as well. And we want to incorporate as many painters from the community to do that as well. We feel like it risks vandalism if it's not something that they are a part of.
And we also included to have little individuals to come out by doing painting by the numbers. So certain parts of the project or the picture, I'm going to put numbers. So certain numbers will correspond with the color. So individuals who cannot paint could still help in areas where it's not affected. Like the space, I will focus on that, but they could do everything
like the idea of engaging the community to paint and create this mural. Who is going to actually do the design work? Have you identified an artist?
Yes, me. I will be completing them. With the help of the community.
Right.
We have time for one more question from the audience, if anybody has anything. Alex?
Come on, Charles, we'll take yours too. Speak into it.
So, about the size of the mural, how do you guys plan to scale the wall? Or will you just do the mural as it is in the picture? Or will it be higher?
We're estimating it to be roughly as it is in the picture. We're planning to rent scaffolding as it is there. But we do think that there's room for future developments. We think that it could be widened and more honorees could be added. It also could go up higher. However, for budget constraints and safety reasons, we want to limit ourselves to that.
Guys, let's give it up for the Little Bug Mural team. All right, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Oh, wow. Y'all already have the tunnel under control. Look at that. All right, DJ, cue the music. Next up, we have Raquel Henry and Mark Jackson and Teacher Media.
and community, that something great can happen. But unfortunately, some teens in our community don't experience that. They don't know what community is. And they haven't had the time or someone to help them cultivate their passion. And that's why we know that Kids in Media has to happen. We know that if you give them the tools and you empower them to tell their stories, that they're going to help build bridges in our community. Our program is going to take place at the Clearport Learning Center. The Clearport Learning Center is a free after-school program that already has teams that go there voluntarily every day after school. It's free for them, and they go there to enjoy academic help, they want to be mentored, or they just want a safe place to have fun with their friends. Oh, my bad. Mark is the person that we needed. We have the kids, we have the location, but we didn't have his expertise. He is going to be the teacher with our team. He's going to teach them everything related to film so that they will be able to create their own short story. We're going to have bi-monthly classes in partnership with AOC. AOC was happy to be a partner with us because they recognize also there are some teens that they just can't reach because of transportation issues and cost and schedule conflicts. After they complete their classes, they're going to create their own project, and we're going to submit it with the help of AOC to the Southern Screen Festival next year. What we are asking for is $2,500. This is going to be for the use of equipment, camera, production, and software. And also it's going to cover the organizational fee needed for AOC. We need, in addition to $2,500, everyone here to help us out. Because we all know this is so much more than just film and cameras and learning things. It's about empowering a group of students. Some of my students are here and I just love them. And once they tell their stories, in addition to the backers, I need you guys to make sure that they are heard. Thank you guys very much.
How many children or kids are we looking at being involved?
So essentially, we're gonna have, Mark is gonna work with a group of 5 to 6 kids. And those kids are gonna be responsible for teaching at least one other person before they go on to the other course. Justin, who is our team member, he's a teen, actually he goes to Northside High. He's gonna be responsible for following up, because we know if an adult starts following up, it becomes, get out of my face, but 5 to 6 in the core group, but it'll extend to about 20 students.
Sustainability, how do you plan to sustain this beyond the $2,500?
Sustainability, one of the key pieces is the students being able to train and actually the equipment that we have. So the reason why we need that is because the equipment is going to stay at the Clearport, and the students there who have now been trained can train other students. The partnership with AOC will be sustainable through the Merle Hanna Foundation.
We have room for one question from the audience. Anybody from the audience have a question? No? Oh, wow. Go on up. We've got a question in the back.
Mine has been answered. I couldn't hear everything, but will they be writing their own content? Is that part of it?
Yes, that is a very important part. The content is going to be about them. They are going to be the storytellers, and that is important because when you are building bridges and trying to connect communities, it's very easy for us to dismiss a group, but it's very hard to not acknowledge one person, one story that you've learned about.
Guys, give it up for Raquel Henry. Hold on. Tony, calm down. Calm down, Tony. Hold on. Okay, you can't stop him. Let's stand up. Let's give it up for Green Festival.
My name is Nick Essex, and I'm presenting for Green Festival International. Every spring, as I'm sure you all know, a couple 100,000 people from around the world come and hang out with us for a few days. And during that time, they spend a lot of time with the music and the food and the art and the family fun and the trash. I was kind of surprised to learn that every year, 45 tons of waste is generated during the festival. So for perspective, that's the equivalent of 3 full home seasons of UL football. So whenever the music stops and everybody goes home, all that's still here. Our goal is to try and help eradicate that as much as we possibly can. This styrofoam, this never, ever goes away, ever. It's here forever. But we can use this product, which can be gone in a matter of months, into nutrient-rich soil. This is made from the sugarcane byproduct called bagasse. That's the real term, I didn't make that up. I thought it was a joke, I really did. I didn't think that was the case. So our plan is threefold. First of all, we have to replace the packaging clearly. So the idea is to replace the styrofoam with the bagasse product. We're asking for $3,000 to mitigate that cost for the food vendors. There's 26 total, and if they were all to participate, we could assume 50% of that cost differential between the two to offset their cost. But we need their buy-in at the same time. They're not going to do it if they're going to have extra cost. So we're quite fortunate that we asked for no marketing dollars because Festival, being the marketing machine that it is, has offered us in-kind dollars to promote this, not only the green initiative itself, but to encourage the food vendors to do that as well. We'll have them on television, on radio, on social media, to help propel them to join the program altogether. So we're quite fortunate in that regard that we did not need to spend that money for marketing dollars. To close the loop fully, we want to be able to compost. So the trash is still going all in the same place, but if we had the ability to separate the two into compostable and non-compostable, then we would be able to actually bring the loop full circle. So this will be a stretch goal of an additional 1,500 if the backers are so inclined. It's not necessary. We would be able to close the loop fully for a total ask of $4,500 in total. Our team is comprised of the young ladies over here. This is Monica Rowan with UL Sustainability Department. This is Mari Robichaud, who's on the festival board. And then Emily worked with stuff for the past several years. And Maggie Bienvenu and myself, we're going to be doing the marketing piece. So very technical, we're marketing. The goal that we foresee over the long term is that we can have as much as 70% of festival waste diverted from landfill. That would give the ability to turn this pile of trash into a much smaller pile of dirt. That way we could all just have fun, enjoy all the food, the art, and the culture, and the music, and not have to worry about all that trash.
Yeah.
So 2 questions. Where is this being conducted? And have you figured out an ROI? Meaning you divert all of this trash out for $4,500 in total, right? What's that ROI look like on that $4,500?
I will devote to mine.
So the first question being where else is this happening?
No, where is it going to happen here? You're going to take all this stuff out of the trash and compost it, right?
Yeah. So we're going to start first year having 15 collection points in the Park San Souci area, which is where a lot of the food vendors and a lot of the sit-down eating happens. So we'll put 15 collection points for compost in that location. We have volunteer student groups who is what that 1,500 will pay a volunteer stipend for them to come in, and we have some of them in the crowd here, so thank you. They will come in actually, and they do this every football game as well, so they know what they're doing already. They will move that to, we have support of First Methodist Church on Lee Avenue. We're going to use their front lawn as the area where we will be doing the sorting, so it will be a visual thing as well, education for festival goers. And then we have a pilot commercial scale compost pile at UL's Experimental Farm in Cade, where we have permission to actually take that material to be broken down. And that's what that picture of dirt was. That was a successful composting from last year.
Do you have any ROI idea whatsoever?
And then ROI, so we can get it right now. Currently, you can actually answer this question about what's being done currently. All of the waste services are donated to Festival International currently.
So really, what our main ROI is going to be, it's not going to be a dollar figure. It's going to be on saving space in our landfill, making it a compostable product where we're not going to have the styrofoam and plastic that's going to be lasting forever in our environment. That's our main return on investment for this project.
I would like to add to the marketing side of this as well. So this is actually what a lot of, y'all know that we have very international visitors here for Festival International. This is a great opportunity for us to have, where they're already used to this at festivals worldwide. They're looking to see this. This is their expectation already. So this is something where, in addition to the dollars and cents that are already happening, we can add to that a very marketable value. So the Lafayette is moving forward in this area. We're not going to make all the changes all at once, but at the same time, this is something where we can say, hey, Lafayette is making every effort in the United States to be able to move fast forward and get it greener here. So that has a dollar value that we don't exactly know yet, but that's something that really can show that Lafayette is really moving forward. It's a place that people need to pay attention to worldwide. So that in and of itself is hard to make tangible, but at the same time, we know it has some value.
Okay, so after that initial year, how to incentivize vendors without that funding? Will it be merely just, reduction in sales? Or how do you guys take it in year 2, 3, and on?
joint plan to make this go on, and we have commitment from Festival International moving forward. So the plan is to offer a declining subsidy for this. So right now this is going to be 50%, and then over time that will be a lower subsidy over time, and that will be provided through a green fund, which Festival International is going to set up by being able to sell a green merchandise item at tent fair. We're also going to look into, in future years, there's an opportunity for a cup deposit program, where actually whenever we go to purchase beer, you are putting a deposit down on your cup, so then you return it at the end and you get your deposit back. If you don't return it, that's money in Festival's pocket that will go towards this declining subsidy.
One of the other ways that we're looking at doing that is the signage. We will have the Go Green logo on the signs of the vendors that are actually participating in the program. Through the festival app, you will also be able to search the vendors that are participating in the Go Green logo. So that will hopefully push our public that will be, through the marketing program, be aware of what's going on and push that to the vendors to where they will make more money to make them want to use the products. Yeah.
DJ, cue the music. Let's see what the next project we got. Tony, do your job. The next project is Dynamo Votes. Leadership Lafayette Class 3. Ho, 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 ho. Sam Oliver coming down the tunnel.
Vote took to the streets to ask young people, why don't you vote? Here's what they said: I don't care. I'm not a political person, whatever that means, and my vote doesn't matter. Now what I hear when I hear that is my voice doesn't matter. In the most recent local election in Lafayette Parish, this 18 to 32-year-old age group, almost 34,000 registered voters, barely 7,500 show up to vote. That's a 22% voter turnout, y'all. That's sad. That's sad. Voter apathy is the enemy. And the generation with the most future ahead of them are silencing themselves because they think that their vote doesn't matter. It's a very daunting and complex issue, but Zydeco Vote wants to change it. We're brought together by Leadership Lafayette Class 32. We want to engage the community so we can increase voter turnout. We're nonpartisan. We do not support any political candidate or political party. We do, however, support the growth and development of our community that we love. And our tagline is Dire, c'est pas faire. It means saying it ain't doing it. Action, action. So how do we take voter attitudes from meh to meh, yeah? Meh, yeah, yeah, okay, oh, let's do what we do best. Let's make it a party. Let's make it a festival. Civic engagement. All we need is an excuse to party. This is your new excuse. I want this to be a part of my culture, just like gumbo, festivals, and football rivalries. Go Tigers! This is what we do. We vote. So I need to engage with this group, right? I need to ask them questions. What do you care about? How can I make you understand that your voice matters? I need to build my marketing materials around that so I can get them off of Facebook, at their houses, in the voting polls, pushing buttons. And then I need them to come to my party downtown at Park Sans-Souci on the first Saturday of early voting, where we're going to celebrate, because this is going to be a part of who we are. So I need $3,000 to make this happen. I need money for entertainment, I need marketing material money, and I need event space money. I think $3,000 to change the world is a pretty awesome deal. Because we want this to be the one party that everyone agrees on. Choose, you gotta go vote.
Serious faces, everybody.
I want to know what this party's going to look like. Tell me about this party.
I think that's an Abby question. She's our party gal.
We know how to party. So, we're gonna have live music, DJ digital. We're researching what the young kids care about band-wise. We'll get back to you on that. And we have raised a 21-year-old, so I'm doing some global research on that. But it's gonna, food, some beer, some alcohol. We want to engage the local downtown businesses and the surrounding area businesses as well. Looking at you, Gus. And so, but really block party, festival, Fado style. We really just want to change the tone of voting with this party.
Is there a community in the country that you're basing this off of, and do you have data that suggests that this would be successful? I mean, we all want to party, but we also want voter turnout.
Those two work hand in hand. And as a political science professor who's been researching this stuff for 10 years, we have a lot of information to draw on. Since 2005, we've had randomized experiments that have been run on using festivals to drive voter turnout in places that don't even have a culture of celebration and festivals. Modeling this most closely after Tulsa, Oklahoma in 2016, which managed to up their millennial turnout by 50%. And that was driven by their young leader organization doing things like organizing a very similar party, getting coasters out in bars all over town and advertising this thing, and really driving the excitement. If we did that here on the low end, we're talking an increase of 1,000, on the upper end to 4,000 voters among our millennial age community.
Marginalized voters who may not access information in the same way that non-marginalized voters do.
Absolutely, thank you for the question. So if you notice, a lot of us are white people up here. In fact, I'm a white man, I'm not very marginalized. However, we know that the work of getting out into communities that have been systematically and systemically excluded from voting over decades, over generations, is work that requires face-to-face interaction. Fortunately, we have great allies and supporters and people in this room even who I believe are on our side for this amazing cause. I mean, Alex Lazar, you're in the crowd. Are you going to help us out? Marcus Brown, are you going to help us out? Tina Shelton Bingham, are you going to help us out? There are communities like Convise, Destiny of Faith Church. We know that in the communities, the churches are the centers, especially in the African American community. We know that on university campuses, UPC, Black Student Union, SLCC, onboarding day, these are great opportunities to come together and educate and inspire and invite people to vote.
How do you remain apolitical, and how do you fund this after our funding?
Well, to keep it apolitical, this is political because we want people to engage in politics. However, we are apartisan. So there will be no supporting of individual candidates. However, when we talk about increasing voter turnout among African Americans and among younger voters, it is political. There are people who have money, who engage in politics, who will not like that.
and they will fling mud, and they will put out things saying that this is a democratic effort, or that this is a specifically progressive effort. And we can't help that. And we don't care. Because the point is to affect the change, and the point is to affect that change over a long period of time.
I agree.
Do we have a plan to incorporate other non-profit organizations that can help? Yeah, we definitely want to engage a lot. We're under Leadership Institute of Acadiana as a forum. We share really close values, so we're excited about that partnership. They've also been wanting to civically engage people in a positive way. And so we're looking for more like-minded organizations that are interested in that. I think I'm willing to put a bet on it that almost every nonprofit organization wants people to be civically engaged.
Guys, let's give it up for all right. Hey, we got 2 more projects left, so let's make the time loud and proud. Oh my goodness, what is this I'm seeing? To the music, DJ. Let's go, Tony. Get him up, Tony. Get him up, Tony. Get him up, Tony. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. That wins the creativity award right there. Guys, let's give it up for Trisella Bonnet with Vegemite. And for riding her bicycle down the tunnel, never has anybody ever.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Priscilla Bonnet. I am with the Veggie Group on the bike road. I am nervous. I've never done this before, so I'm going to read.
You got this.
Thank you, all. My name is Priscilla Bonnet, and I am the team leader for the Veggie on the Go project. I want to take you on a journey. My journey begins with Miss Susan. She has 3 kids that stay at home with her. She's a homemaker. She works at a local school. She walks to work because she can't afford a vehicle. She needs to feed her kids. And the only option she has is a dollar store or a convenience store that mainly sells alcohol, cigarettes, sodas, and processed food. Nothing healthy, just quick fixes. Imagine the only way for her to get fresh produce is to get on a bus, a ride share, or a cab. But I'm sorry.
You got
But things weren't always that way. When I grew up, my community had mom and pop grocery stores just about on every corner. They had fruits, vegetables, meat markets, and my parents owned 3 of them that my siblings and I had to work in when we became teenagers. We didn't have that option, we worked. So, that was also Mr. Collier. He was one of the peddlers that was in the neighborhood that actually rode on a horse and buggy, that could sell produce and groceries in the neighborhood. I'm sorry, that sold produce in the neighborhood on a horse-drawn buggy. The USDA defines a food desert as part of our community that is absent of fresh fruits, vegetables, and other healthy whole foods, usually found in impoverished areas. The Piggly Wiggly on Simcoe Street is now a beauty salon that sells beauty products. The Walmart has closed, and the nearest grocery store is not within walking distance for most people. Because of this, these communities are considered to be located in the food desert. The communities had everything needed to sustain itself, but those days are gone. We no longer have grocery stores in our communities. Our proposal for the Veggie Bite on the Go project is similar to the project in New Orleans. Using tricycles to bring vegetables and fruits to the community, we would get supplies from local growers like the MCB Home Growers Community, Earth Sheriff's Garden, Fresh Pickings Market, Givers Produce, and local growers, and also the place in there, Bowbridge. We would also get produce from Givers Produce. We plan to start in February 2020. We're going to use, our goal is to accept the EBT, cash, or credit cards. And we also want to put in place a program where we would help those that don't have the means to pay for their groceries or produce. We would actually have like a sliding scale, or we would just give it to them. Our proposal is to ask for $3,000 to cover the cost of the tricycles, the market cart that we're going to build out for the tricycles, EBT processing center, insurance to our first produce. When we're starting, we're probably not going to have enough produce, so we're going to use some of the funding to get our produce and insurance and printing costs. I hope that you'll consider us in front of us. And I'm so sorry, y'all.
Any questions from the back?
So speaking with you earlier, you mentioned the source of the fruits and vegetables. Can you explain that to the crowd as well? Where the food comes from?
The food is going to be coming from our local growers and the MCB Home Growers Farm and Earth Sheriff's Garden. If we don't have enough produce from those locations, we're also going to source from Bridges Produce, that's on Wall Street, the Fresh Pickings Market on Pinhook, and also from the food stand in Bow Bridge. I've already spoken to them.
How do you guys plan on dealing with the shelf life of produce?
We're going to actually have a cold pot that we're going to be installing in a storage building that we have on the MCB community farm, and we're going to make that our cold storage.
Have y'all thought about discussing this with restaurant owners?
I'm sorry, what?
Have y'all discussed with potential local restaurants that can potentially donate?
Yeah, we're considering that also. We're going to be going in contact with the Fresh Market. That place.
We're going, actually, we've been in discussion, and we're looking at partnering with the farmers market on Johnson Street as well for their Saturday farmers market. Any produce they may have left over, we're looking at partnering with them also, and actually taking that as well as part of our distribution to the local community and our farmers.
Also, some of us are already currently working with Second Harvest, which is already doing the same thing, so we don't want to step on their toes. But we definitely do want to. Yeah. So it's definitely, it has to be integrated with the community and what they're already doing. So I guess I would say our focus has been community where the deserts are located. And honestly, the demand is so high, I doubt still would be.
Can you talk about what the initial footprint will be, how you take it to scale, who's riding the tricycles, that sort of thing?
Yeah, hi. So to start out, Priscilla and I are both committed to delivering by bike, and as it grows and as we see how people are interested, we suspect that there'll be other people in the community who are interested. At first, we're thinking the model will be volunteer, but it has the potential to be future jobs, especially for youth, people who don't have a driver's license for one reason or another. So there's a lot of options for growth, but initially it'll be Priscilla and I.
Can you talk to me about food as medicine and how this connects back to health and wellness?
Food as health and wellness. Food is what powers our body. We were born with each a unique DNA, and in the past, the food has been what has been the healing power. So having access to good produce nourishes the body. It provides all of your nutrients. We don't need to have processed food, but in a desert, they have lack of that, which in turn increases your high cholesterol, heart rate, cancer rate, diabetes. If you look at the research shows that in low socioeconomic areas, this is huge. This is one component that has the aspect to greatly affect change for the greater good in all of the communities, but especially in those desert communities.
Let's give it up. Good job, guys. Good job. All right, hey, I'm sorry to say it, but this is the last project that's going to be pitching tonight. So let's make it count. Let's make it count. This is Kelly
and volunteering is something that's really personal to me. I've always wanted to get involved in my community, and I really didn't know how. For years, I thought about things and really felt like I wasn't in a place. And so, in the past year, I've got more connected. And I've joined organizations, but I've been kind of learning about nonprofits in the area and just what they do. But I didn't really know what the need was and how I could be of service. So I realized there was a disconnect. And if it was happening to me, it must be happening to other people. So just this week, there was a post made on Facebook, last week actually, someone who's new to the area who was looking for a way to get involved, and she didn't know how. So from someone like me who grew up in this area, didn't know, felt like I was pretty, involved, imagine someone who's not from the area and is looking for a way. So as you can see, there were pretty good engagement. People started commenting, listing nonprofits, and there was a lot of interaction, but those nonprofits had to go back, and Facebook's hard to navigate. And we really shouldn't have to worry about using Facebook as the only outlet. I think this crowd kind of speaks for itself. People want to get engaged, and Connected Acadiana wants to bridge that gap. And together, we can make a difference. Here's some visual statistics about the impact it has on our state alone. Connected Acadiana benefit for volunteers would be building skill sets, relationships, getting more engaged in your community. The impact Connected Acadiana would have for nonprofits would be, they wouldn't have to spend time recruiting volunteers, and they could have lasting relationships with these volunteers that signed up with them. So our time frame is basically a website. We want to build a base, and we want it to be a database of your skills and interests. So you sign up with us, and then we target you each month, send you an email on how you can get engaged based on the tags that you suggested you want to be involved with. We also have a social media campaign where we have 360 people in the past week and a half who have already said they want to help. And then we have a MailChimp account where people have already started signing up saying, we don't know what you're doing, but like we want to get involved. We partner with the 705. It's a natural partnership where we are young professionals who want to get engaged. And if you're not convinced and you don't think it affects you in this room, here's proof. 24-Hour Citizen Project posted that they needed volunteers for tonight. Yeah, so I had fun and I said, if only there were a central location to find people to volunteer. So, we've partnered with a number of organizations, businesses throughout the community and nonprofits who said they want this. And we partnered with 232 Help, who wants to get us connected to those nonprofits. So that's been huge. What we're asking for is a website development social media campaign, and we also want to use MailChimp. It's how we're going to target our audience. We want to send out those emails. We're asking for $3,400, and we hope that you can help us get connected in Acadiana. Here's our team.
We have 4 minutes for Q&A.
So let's talk about sustainability.
Yeah.
How do you guys plan on going forward?
So we're a website, which is simple form for nonprofits to fill out. So the nonprofit fills out the form that checks what they want to be tagged with, and then the volunteer also tags that. We have had a number of people who have, like, from that list that have said, we want to be a part of this. And whether it's what type of partnership, the reason we didn't go with an entire platform this original time was that that's not sustainable. We realized that very quickly. Of course, I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then, people were like, well, where are you going to be in a year? What are you going to be doing? And I'm like, well, that's a good question. So we have a team of people who are willing to be engaged. And like I said, we partnered with 232 Help, who is going to help us sustain that.
Regarding continue to promote the website for years to come, what's the financial planning? You guys?
We're pretty confident that we have a good partnership with the nonprofits and businesses, organizations in the community. They're on board, and so it'll be hard to kind of, tell them that this isn't something that's going to be happening. We've talked to a number of people who want this to be a thing.
To give some more technical answers on that question as well, we've already gotten the domain secured for over a year. The hosting program that we're going to be using with Common Developers is also going on for a year. So that gives us a year to develop the community side, which will really where a lot of that support will come from. We know that once the benefit is shown and it's been proven, then at that point we'll just be able to continue going forward.
When I go to the website, what will it look like? What will that page look like?
Well, I'm glad I already have the mic. So the website right now is going to be a landing page, meaning it's a single page, but on that page will be a calendar of events. Right? One of the biggest things people always ask is, well, what is actually happening that I can volunteer for? That's the direct question we want to answer starting first. So nonprofits will be able to submit events to us. We'll put them on this calendar. From there, if you, a user or a volunteer, goes to this website, you'll be able to see that event, description of what that event is, and a link that leads you directly to that nonprofit to sign up to volunteer. So that would be the basis starting at the very beginning.
In website development, is there any concept of developing an app that's easier to access, easier connectivity, given that we don't live in a laptop world anymore?
Absolutely. So right now what we're doing is we're ensuring that the website is mobile responsive, since 77% of all website traffic happens on phones anyway. And then at that point we'll go forward, if we can in the future, something we've tabled to see how we can build it out to even a mobile-friendly app at that point.
The number of organizations you had listed were pretty impressive. Have you reached out to all of them individually, or is that through 232 Help?
No, I personally reached out to all of them. I've met with them in the past 2 weeks. And it's been an incredible response, positive response, that there is a need for this, and I'm very confident that we won't have a problem filling that need.
How are you going to differentiate yourself between 232 Help, United Way, and others that are out there? I mean, it seems like it's a service that's already existing.
Well, that's the reason we partnered with 232 Help. We partnered with them because they said that there is no one doing this right now, and we're not partnered with anyone else. We're not affiliated with any nonprofit, so there are no interests. And 232 Health directly told us that they are 100% behind this and helping us market it. They have the database of nonprofits, and they're willing to help us do that.
Have you looked into an organization called Unite Us? There's also Aunt Bertha. There's about 3 others that are doing this that are nationally oriented. How are you going to differentiate yourself from those organizations?
Yeah, there's a reason we're branding ourselves as Acadiana. I think the people in this room are an example of that. We want something that we can go to that feels like us and is us. There's no questions about who's operating this, what are their interests, all that. We want something that the people can feel confident about. Someone here locally is doing that.
Yeah.
30 more seconds for questions. Do you have a question? You're not giving the mic. What's your question? He's thinking about it.
I think he wants to sign up to get connected. We can connect you tonight.
You want to get connected? What's your name? All right, guys. That's 8 teams. What do you think, huh? I'll tell you what, I'm proud of that group. So this is, I'll tell you what about the backers? Great question. Super respected to all of you. It's awesome. So this is that point of the show where we're starting a timer of 15 minutes. I'm going to invite the backers to a back room. And we're going to talk about which projects are going to be funded. So you don't want to leave. One thing that you can do while you're here is go buy a t-shirt. That's how we fund events to happen year after year. Thank you guys. We'll be in touch soon. So what y'all been up to? Hey, backers, come on up front and center. Come on over here, right here. I want a backer standing here, right there, in the light, right there. Hey guys, round of applause for the backers. Come on, let's get it up. Thank you. All right, so we've got funded projects and we have checks. Where are the checks? Go on standby. Okay. All right, Ashley, who we got first? Get ready, guys. We got funded projects here. Seeing you're going to do this one.
Did you see them all move? All right, so project number 1 took a little bit of deliberation, a lot of thinking by the backers, but really food deserts in our community are a big thing. And food is medicine is important, and so let's be on the go to exactly the solution for that food desert. Come on up.
We got other projects to fund. Huh? Hey, and we got another project. And this time, whenever we say their name, let's do a tunnel. Tony, get them hyped, baby. Get them hyped.
The next project that we're going to be funding is obviously something that is touching every single individual in this community. It's a point of contention in many ways. It's all over social media. And we all know how much we need to make sure that we're finding solutions. And it's very clear there's not a single solution. There has to be many different ways in how we are going to address this problem. So one of the ways that we're going to be addressing this problem is by funding the Adopt and Start. Let's go, get this closure. Get over here. Good job, congratulations. Congratulations. All right, give it up for Adopt and Storm Drain one more time. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. We got another project. What can I say? Huh? We got another one. Can anybody guess what it is? Probably not. All right, step up here, backers.
First of all, has such knowledgeable leadership. We were blown away. It has a commitment to lifting people in the community who need an extra hand, and it has a deep commitment to diversity, inclusion, and equity. So in the amount of $3,500, we are funding we got another project! We got another one. Let me see. I know what this one is and y'all don't. How's that feel? Alright, we're going to call on Ryan Cazares to announce this one. Give it up for Ryan, guys.
Yo, so I was up here 2 years ago pitching, and I just want to, I think something that goes unnoticed here is the amount of work that Butch and the team put into this event, so give it a hand.
passion for the library, which is alive and thriving. Thank you very much, Butch. I really appreciate that. As a musician who really loves pushing the local music scene and everything that Lafayette has to offer, this project is going to make a big impact. And as someone who also owns a riding electric lawnmower, this was important to fund to me. This is a Greening Festival.
Congratulations, guys. And in addition to funding this project and helping you guys get it off the ground, we hope to learn a lot from what you guys create. We're going to be working with SCARA, and we're going to make sure that not only Festival International, but Acadiana Po' Boy Festival and Play Lunch Festival.
Great job. Well, it's been an incredible night, huh? So for the first time in the history of the 24-Hour Citizen Project, we've had 5 projects funded. Bring out the check, and let's announce this one, guys. Come on.
So as somebody who was involved in the first project back in 2016, and have been in all the following where you are, right, and watching, I think something that I've learned every single year is that I figure out more about our community, right? And so prior to coming, I think, here tonight, I knew about this project, but I learned more about the people who are supporting it. And you know, I think oftentimes we think about some of these sexy projects and where we're going, but we forget about people who are doing some of the hard work on the margins. We just do. I do, at least. And so tonight, I think we want to give a round of applause to Clareport and the work they're doing there, and we want to point them.
Backers getting here. Let's get a picture.
This project!
All right. Guys, you get to keep this. You get to keep it. So before we wrap this up, we've got to thank the people. So backers, please stay on stage. We've got to thank the people that made it possible. Obviously, our sponsors. Innovate South has been a huge partner for us. And to be honest with you, I told Justin this earlier today, we would not be on this stage funding these projects if it wasn't for Innovate South, so we encourage you to go to the event next weekend. It's going to be great. So let's give Innovate South a round of applause. Thank you for covering Indiana, for being a fiscal sponsor, the Opportunity Machine for Lake Wellness Center. Let's have every committee member and volunteer up here on stage right now, and I want everybody to give them a round of applause. I want the selection committee, the outreach committee, the organizing committee. Come on, John, get on up there. Guys, let's give them a round of applause. Tony the Tunnel Wrangler, how about Tony the Tunnel Wrangler? All the backers. There's also, before we take a picture, come on, Ken, get up here. It's ironic that the person I'm about to single out is in the back. Nikki Vidas, get up here in the front of the stage. Guys, Nikki Vidas is really the reason why we're here. She puts in the long hours, and this would not be possible without Nikki. So let's give her a round of applause, guys. Thank you so much. All right, take a picture. Look, last thing, we told this to the teams last night. We feel like it's important to reiterate. This is what community is all about, and we've been able to build this program based off of the people that have come through the program. We saw tonight that a lot of the backers were teams. And so we ask you to consider applying next year. We open applications around April, and so we need to continue to collectively impact the community because that's what this environment is all about. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. That's all I got to say. Y'all have a good night.